So that was the fluff welcome. Now we're going to do our actual traditional welcome.
Good morning and welcome to our Veterans Day program. My name is Emily Pohl. I'm the elementary general music teacher for the Mount Pleasant Area School District. Ramsay Elementary is honored today to present this program in recognition and appreciation of the numerous veterans in the Mount Pleasant area community who have dedicated their lives to ensuring our country's values, independence, and freedom. To begin our program, we invite you all to join us in the singing of our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, led by our fourth graders up here on the stage. Please rise in body or spirit. And now I would like to turn things over to our elementary band teacher, Mr. Tom Murphy.
Is it working? Yes. Batteries. Again, welcome and thank you for being here. I like to share this little poem every year that I've been here in Mount Pleasant for our Veterans Day program. And it's a poem that my mother wrote. She actually had bipolar, and she is 65 years old, and she's now in a nursing home because of it. So as much as I love her and care about her and wish she could be here today, unfortunately she can't. So I will read it on her behalf. It's a Marine mother's prayer. No offense to anybody else in the military, it's just my brother was in the Marines when he was 18 years old, and that's when she wrote this. Dear God, full of grace, bless my son and keep him safe. His GI Joes have been put away. My grown-up son he is today. In another place far from here. He is barely old enough for a beer. That's my son, I'm proud to say. Home again he'll be one day. He puts his life on the line. This U.S. Marine is a son of mine. So please, dear God, watch over him until he is back in this state again. Thank you, Lord, from up above for this precious gift and your holy love. By Carol Murphy. Now the band will perform for you a patriotic tune entitled Eagle Summit March. And as you all know, the eagle is representative of all of our country's bird. So if you look at it, it's on top of all the military flags, and it's on top of our American flag. So it's a very distinguishable bird that we recognize here in the United States. So our piece is entitled Eagle Summit March. Got to make sure I stay on track, so I have a script here. Next, we're going to hear a reading from our second place winners. They do this in the Donegal VFW, I believe, is the one who runs this. Correct me if I'm wrong. American Legion. The American Legion, thank you. They run an essay contest, and our students in 5th and 6th grade were a part of that. They wrote an essay, and you're going to hear from the winners today. So we have our second place winners, Hunter Trout in 5th grade, followed by Sophia Copula in 6th grade. You're going to hear their speeches.
Veterans Day is important to me for many reasons. Veterans Day represents a day of service, sacrifice, and patriotism. It is a day filled with gratitude to those who have served in the United States military. The celebrations of Veterans Day pay honor to those who have given selflessly to support and defend our great nation. It makes me feel proud to be an American and proud of the brave men and women who are willing to put others first and serve our country. A veteran is someone who has served the United States of America in support of the Constitution and promised to serve and to defend freedom and the American way of life. Millions of men and women over the years have served in the military, and this includes those who have volunteered as well as those who were drafted into service. Veterans Day is celebrated to honor those who have served our country in each branch of service, to include the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. Veterans Day, or Armistice Day, began on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month and signified the end of the Great War, or also known as World War I. Year after year, we use Veterans Day as a day to celebrate the service and sacrifice of the brave men and women who have graciously agreed to put others before themselves and serve in support of the greatest country in the world. I think that Veterans Day is important because it represents a day of loyalty and service to others. It is more than just another holiday. It represents the values, traditions, and sacrifice that makes our country so special and helps me appreciate the freedom that I have in living here. My mom is a veteran herself. She's in the Army, and I describe her being in the Army as being one of life's real heroes, and I am thankful for it. Veterans Day is important to me and my family. Veterans Day is important to me.
Veterans Day is a day when we remember all the soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines who fought for our country. We honor all the veterans who served our country, and that is what Veterans Day is all about. There are many veterans in the world who have died, but they died because they honored and kept our country safe. We have Veterans Day because we thank and honor all the veterans who served our country. We thank all the veterans for their service, because without them, our country would not be where it is. We also thank all the veterans because every veteran risked their lives for us and our country, so that our country could be a happy and safe place. Because of our veterans, our country is the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you all veterans for your service. You are why our country is safe. All veterans fought fearlessly for our country. Veterans are not just soldiers, they are heroes. May we never forget the veterans who served our country. They cared not just for themselves, but for us and our nation. On Veterans Day, you have to remember that veterans made our country safe, and they protected everybody and our country. There are more than 1 million veterans risking their lives right now to help keep our country safe. So please, on Veterans Day, say a prayer for the veterans who are no longer here, but also say a prayer and thank you to those who are here. Thank all the veterans you know, and be grateful that you can live in a country with amazing people and where you can feel safe. In conclusion, Veterans Day is a day where we thank and pray to all the veterans who risked their lives for our country. Thank you, USA Armed Services.
band will play for you a patriotic piece. It's entitled American Spirit March. And it encompasses many numerous patriotic tunes that you'll recognize. One that I love to talk about is Yankee Doodle. And the reason is because the British wrote it to make fun of us as Americans. And again, I think it speaks so true to kids today with, social media and things that people put out there, that we can take words and we can turn them around and make it our battle cry. And that's what we did as Americans with Yankee Doodle. So in this piece, you will hear the flutes and clarinets play Yankee Doodle, and then I'm going to see if you can recognize our other patriotic songs in there. There's a total of 5. Please enjoy American Spirit March. Students, can anyone tell me one of the patriotic songs in there? Not the band students, you know the answer. Always trying to get one over. All right, let's ask the adults, see if they recognize any of the patriotic songs that were in there. Grand Old Flag, very good. Yankee Doodle, right? I gave the answer. No one gave it. America the Beautiful, yes, and actually it started with the ending of our national anthem. Okay, so we had our Star Spangled Banner, we had America the Beautiful, Yankee Doodle, your Grand Old Flag. No one mentioned this one. It was kind of tough to hear in there because of the arrangement, but America. America was our 5th one. So we hope you enjoyed American Spirit March. Next, we will have the reading from our 3rd place essay winners, Abby Pospisil and Ezra Bowman.
When I think about veterans, I think about our country, how free we are, and how we are safe. Veterans are special to me because I have many people in my family that are veterans. Thanks to our veterans, there are many things we are able to do that we could not do before. We are in good hands because of all the sacrifices that military men and women have made when they left their families to fight for us. Veterans are special to me because my pap and grandma were both in the military. My pap was in the Vietnam War and my grandma was in Iraq. My pap was in the Army and my grandma was in the Air Force. It is important to me that you know this because I think that is a fact you should know. They are the most important people to me in the world. I feel good to know that they are there when I need them. If I am sad, they make me feel better, or if I'm mad, they make me feel glad. I love them so much way, I miss them a lot. I grew up around veterans. I have veterans in my family. I have done so much that has to do with veterans. When I was in preschool, I did my first Veterans Day program. I've been in a parade with the Legion Riders veterans. I love to go to the Roman White American Legion in Donald. My pap is the commander, so my family participates in all the essay contests. I love listening to all of the different essays. Because of veterans, there are many things we are able to do that we could not do before. Some examples are all kids can go to the same school together, women can vote, we have the choice to go to church, and what religion we are. Ladies have the choice to work or stay home as alone. And we are all treated alike. No one is left out because of their differences. Thanks to the men and women of the military that made sacrifices and were away from their families, not all military men and women made it back from fighting in the wars. We need to be thanking veterans every day, not just on Veterans Day. It is a blessing for us that we still have veterans with us today. I want to say thank you to all the veterans out there today.
Veterans Day is important for many reasons. For example, it honors those courageous men and women that died for our country. Lots of people take them for granted even though they fought overseas on battlefields for us. They lost their friends in brutal wars, and yet they only get one day that honors them. I find that very disappointing. There are many branches in the U.S. Army, such as the Marines, Navy, Army, Air Force, Coast Guard, and Space Force. They all play vital roles in protecting our country. Veterans fought in various wars to protect us and our freedom, such as World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq, and many more. You can visit many war memorials in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., such as the World War I, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam memorials. Arlington, in my opinion, is the most important of all. Many soldiers that died in action and veterans that died after serving are buried there. Each soldier has tax played at their funeral, but only high-ranking soldiers get this one-on-one salute. If you visit any of these memorials, don't forget to show respect. Soldiers that get injured or do something very heroic can receive very special medals, like the Purple Heart and very rarely the Medal of Honor. The two most recent wars we fought were caused by something terrible that happened to our nation, 9/11. Many lives of brave people were lost that day, from the brave people on Flight 93 to the brave firefighters on the ground. I wanted to mention a small but powerful group of soldiers that helped almost 10 years after the attacks of 9/11, SEAL Team 6. They were able to eliminate Osama bin Laden, the cause behind the attacks. To conclude my essay, thank you to every soldier and veteran that served in the military.
So as you can hear, we have some pretty special kids here that want to thank all the veterans that are here. So that's why we asked them to read their speeches, because who can say it better than our youth? So thank you again for being here. Next, we would like to introduce Roger from the VFW to explain all of our military flags that we have back here. And mainly this is probably more for the students than the young men and women that are sitting across from you, but I think it's important for them to understand what these flags represent. So Roger.
I'm the commander of American Legion Post 941 in Donegal. And like I said, I'm a Vietnam veteran and retired with 25 years service. Okay. Okay, the flags that we have are, we got the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, and Coast Guard. The Space Force flag, we was looking for one, but we couldn't find one. But those are our military forces that we have today. And I also got the POW MIA flag, which we draped over the empty chair to symbolize POWs and MIAs that are not with us today.
Next, we have a performance by Ezra Bowman on the trumpet, playing Battle Hymn of the Republic. Now we will hear from our first place essay winners, Lily Spires and Cole McCullough.
A veteran is a person who served in the military. They could have served at any time during war or peacetime. The branches of the military are the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, and the new Space Force. The members of these branches are made up of men and women from all over the country. The military began June 14, 1775, and consisted of the Army only. The Navy was established October 13, 1775. The Marines were established November 10, 1775. These units were deployed to fight the Revolutionary War. The Coast Guard was established on August 4, 1790 to enforce tariffs, protect trade laws, and prevent smuggling. It was not until September 18, 1947 that the Air Force was established to fight in World War I. Enlisted servicemen and women in all branches are sent for training and schooling to learn various jobs. Each branch is unique and offers different jobs. Some of these jobs include artillery personnel, pilots, mechanics, clerks, equipment operators, ship captains, and various other responsibilities. They have to study hard to get to one of the jobs. Veterans are very important to all of us and are key members in society and our families. Speaking of family members, my pap, Dennis Kozar, served in the Army. He was enlisted as a clerk and artillery person. Pap was drafted to serve, meaning he did not get to choose which branch he would have liked to serve. If given the choice, he had chose the Navy. Pap served from 1972 to 1974. He visited Germany, France, and Amsterdam. Today, he still serves. His service to his community continues through his efforts with the American Legion in the VFW of Mount Pleasant. Pat places flags at the cemetery on soldiers' grave sites. He participates in funeral services for veterans and marches and parades carrying a rifle with a flag. Pat takes his service to the community of veterans very seriously. He has shown me the importance of community service and being there to support our veterans. Thank you to all the men and women who served and continue to serve. Special thanks to my PAC.
Veterans Day is celebrated November 11th every year. This official holiday is celebrated to honor veterans in the United States that served in the armed forces. It began as Armistice Day. At the end of World War I, it was then changed to Veterans Day in 1954 to honor more veterans. Some communities have parades for Veterans Day to honor them. There are many ways Veterans Day is celebrated. Some may have the day off from work, while others may offer a free dessert for veterans. A veteran is a person who is no longer serving in the military. A military veteran that has served directly in combat in a war is really defined as a war veteran. Veterans served their country and some have sacrificed their lives for our freedom. They were strong, capable, and brave. The veterans have to sacrifice seeing their families. Some are away from their families for a very long time. Some veterans lost their lives in order to keep the country safe and protected. Other veterans have returned to their homes with one or more disabilities. They could be missing limbs or they may be blind or deaf. This makes simple tasks difficult. I personally think a veteran sacrifices a lot in order to keep the United States safe for our people. For this reason, I think it's important to honor and support them for all the hard work they've done for the country. One day I donated to a veteran that helped disabled veterans in hospitals. The veteran gave me a poppy. The poppy was made by those disabled veterans. I have some relatives that were veterans, one of which was my grandfather. He was in the Army and fought at the Vietnam War. My great uncle served in the Air Force all of his career. In conclusion, veterans are hardworking people that have to sacrifice anything in order to keep their country safe. They were brave people that have sacrificed their lives for the country. Veterans Day is an important holiday that honors veterans and honor their hard work for what they've done for their country.
Students, as you can hear, we have a lot of students who wrote some really great essays. If you have a family member that is in the military, currently serving, was in the military, a veteran, or a military person who passed away, would you please stand up? If you are a student in our school who has a veteran or a military person that is serving, would you please stand up? So veterans, as you can see, we have a lot of students in our school district that really value today's efforts and what you do for our country. So thank you. Students, you can have a seat. So just real quick, and then we're going to pass it on to each veteran. We're going to ask you to introduce yourself with your first and last name, and we'd like to know what branch of service that you served. If you want to share with us your years of service or what years you were in, or any information you'd like to share with us, we're open. But please tell us your first and last name, what branch of military, and also share with us if any of the students that were standing up are related to you as well. As we start, my brother was in the military, served with the Marines, and then decided he wanted to fly helicopters, so he transferred to the Army. My uncle was a Green Beret. His name was Regis Murphy, and he's wrote numerous books about his time in the Vietnam War. And my grandfather was a supply chain in the Army and did World War II. So that's a little bit of history and why I value what you do for us. So thank you, veterans. We'll just pass the mic through, but feel free to stand up.
Ashley Turney, United States Army, and my son Connor is in 5th grade.
John Ersick, I was in the Army from 87 to 92. My daughter Emma Ersick's here. My grandpa, Louis Ersick, was in World War II, and my dad, he was in Vietnam. So that's why I went in the military.
Name's Harold Rittenauer, 9-year veteran Army, 1 year in Nam. My grandson, Jacob Smiley. Thank you.
My name is Ashley Cowles. I am currently serving in the United States Navy. I've been in for 10 years, and I am Macy Colizian.
My name is David Gentile. I was in the Navy from 1963 to 1967, and I'm here for Miss Cullen.
My name's Andy Middick. I was in the Navy. I have 2 grandchildren in this room somewhere. Logan and Bennett. And thank you.
My name's Daniel Shear. I was Army National Guard, served from 2004 to 2010. Deployed in 2008 in Operation Iraqi Freedom. And my son is Daniel Shear. He's in 4th grade.
My name is John Lehman. I'm here representing Colton Smith. I served in the United States Army from 1965, 66, and 67.
Yeah, my name is Joe Keith. I served in the Army from 74 to 77 out of Walton Army Hospital in New Jersey. And I'm here with my granddaughter, Izzy Ballone.
Ed Duga, 4 years in the United States Army Security Agency, and my grandson, Jacob Duga.
My name is Carol Gladkey. I was in the Army. My special are Eva Martz and Mia Anderson.
Dan Colby, U.S. Navy. That's me, Mom. Eva Martz and Mia Anderson somewhere around here. That's it.
My name is George Eicher. I was in the United States Marine Corps from 1967 to 1970. My grandson is Austin Eicher.
My name is Bob Ludwig. I retired from the Army after 20 years. I'm here to support my grandson, Owen.
My name is Mark Anderson. I was in the Army from 1983 to 1987, and my granddaughter, Kendall Anderson.
My name is Kenny Miller. I was in the Air Force for 4 years. My daughter is Aria Miller. She's in the 4th grade.
My name is Ken Hunter. I serve in the United States Navy, and my son is Levi Hunter.
My name's Roger Pospischel. I'm here for Abby. Not Abby, she's my granddaughter. I was in the Army since from 69 to 94. A Vietnam veteran, and I was in the Special Forces too.
Hi, I'm Nan Pospisil. I was in the Air Force for 30 years, from 1980 to 2010, and my granddaughter Abby is here as well.
Hi, my name is Jim Gusky, U.S. Marine Corps. I served in Vietnam 68 to 70, and I'm here for my granddaughter, Stormy Bedman.
I'm Tom Bowman. I served in the Navy, and I have 2 grandchildren here that are both in the band. Thank you very much. Really enjoyed that. Thank you very much.
Joe Cola, United States Marine Corps. I'm here for Jason and Gemma Lovell.
Art Ridgway, United States Navy, Vietnam veteran, 66 to 68. Here in honor of my great-granddaughter, Sadie Cunningham.
Dave Ridgway, also here honoring Sadie, my granddaughter. I was in the Navy from 93 through 97.
Scott Cunningham, I served in the Navy from 2005 to 2010. My daughter, Sadie Cunningham.
Hi, I'm Bud Sandemeyer, grandfather to Isabella Profnick. I served in the United States Air Force from 1978 to 82. We dealt with international terrorism. And at my last post, the RAF Uxbridge in England, one of those terrorist groups got on base and 2 musicians prevented a mass casualty event. Thank you.
Hi, I'm George D'Amato. I served in the United States Army from 1971 to 73, and just want to recognize Hayden out here somewhere. Okay, thank you guys once again for this program.
Bruce Johnson, U.S. Navy. I'm here to represent my grandson, Drake.
My name is Dennis Kozar. I was in the United States Army from 1972 to 1974, and I'm the proud grandfather of Lily Spires and Caleb Stewart.
George Caper, U.S. Navy. I'm here for my grandson, Colt Caper.
Mark Anderson, United Air Force. My granddaughter Jordan. Scott Eckert, I served in the United States Navy from 2002 to 2007. I was stationed in Greece for 1 year, Cuba for 2 years, and Connecticut for 2 years. And my son, Colton Eckert, in 4th grade.
Good morning to you all. My name is John Watson. I served in the United States Marine Corps from 1967 to 1971. Spent 69 and 70 in Vietnam. I was with the 3rd Marine Amphibious Force, and I'm here for my granddaughter, Sophia Watson.
My name is John Anderson. My granddaughter Kendall's in 6th grade. I served in the United States Navy from 1971 to 1978 aboard the USS Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Ted Chuckeye, United States Marines, 56 to 62, and I'm here for Sadie Poole.
I am Charlie Krupnik, U.S. Army, and I'm here for my granddaughter Isabel Krupnik.
My name is Art Radigan. I served in the Air Force for 8 years. Here for my granddaughter, beautiful granddaughter, Bridget Radigan. Thank you for all the veterans.
Connie Nedra, I served in the Air Force from 85 to 91, and I'm here for Dean Niederhauser, my grandson.
Dean Brackett, I served in the Army from 64 to 66. I'm here for my 2 granddaughters, Stella Brackett and Sonny James.
My name is Jay Grega. I'm here, United States Marine Corps from 1966 to 69, and I'm here for my granddaughter, Emma Rega.
John Veriska, started in the Marine Corps from 1960 to 1964. I'm here for my great niece, Addie Grenda.
DJ Corbaugh, served in the Marine Corps from 2008 to 2013, and here for my son Brantley.
Ron Myers, United States Marines from 1978 to 1986. I'm here for my grandson, Hunter.
Jolene Trout, United States Army, currently serving, and I'm here. My son is Hunter Trout.
I'm from Vietnam, 69 to 71. I'm here for my grandson, Odie Chatfield, and my granddaughter, Zoe Cameron.
I'm Joseph Seibel, here for Joseph T. Seibel, the 3rd United States Air Force I was in since 1964 to 68.
Lance Fowler, I served in the Army Reserve, combat engineer for 2.5 years, and the Air National Guard, 171st Refueling Wing as a firefighter for 6 years.
How about another big round of applause for our veterans?
students here at Ramsay have spent the first part of this year learning the theme songs for the different branches of the armed services. We would like to invite the veterans to stand in body or spirit when they hear their song for their branch of the military being sung. Having earlier led us in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner, our fourth graders will now perform the Marines hymn. Fourth grade, please stand. Fifth grade will first perform the theme for the Army, immediately followed by the theme for the Navy. Fifth grade, please stand. Sixth grade will now sing the theme for the Coast Guard, immediately followed by the theme for the Air Force.
Hey, it takes a lot to learn those military songs. I remember being in elementary school and having to learn them all, and I think it's important that we keep that tradition alive here in Mount Pleasant. So thank you, veterans, for allowing us to learn those songs and sing for you today.
white table set with pride by Margot Thesis Raven. A small table covered with a white tablecloth, set with a plate, silverware, a black napkin, a candle, a red rose in a vase with a red ribbon tied to it, an inverted glass, a slice of lemon, and a pinch of salt. It serves as a reminder of those who are not here to celebrate.
A white tablecloth for purity of motive. A black napkin for prisoners of war. A lit candle to remind us that America is a light in a world full of darkness. A red rose for the hopes and the prayers of those awaiting their loved one's return. A red ribbon tied to the vase for our determination in finding them.
An inverted glass for the missed meal.
A slice of lemon for the bitter fate of the missing.
A pinch of salt for the tears of their families.
So as you can see, we have the white table that's set up over there. So students on your way out, feel free to glance at it, and then you'll recognize all the different parts of that table that they just mentioned that represent something about our military. We're moving on in our program. All of the military bugle calls, there is none so easily recognizable or more apt to evoke emotion than taps. The melody is both eloquent and yet haunting. The history of its origins is interesting and somewhat clouded in controversy and myth. Taps has held a special place in our American heritage, originally conceived as a replacement signal to order lights out at the end of the day in the military. The call has transformed over the years into the funeral honors accorded to all uniformed persons who have faithfully served our country. In times of peace and war, the 24 notes of this familiar melody have been performed each day in virtually every part of our nation. I invite everyone to stand as we have the playing of taps that will be performed by Ezra, and the echo will be performed by Stella Rega, and then please stay silent for a moment of silence at the end of taps. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for the Veterans Day program, and thank you to all the veterans. Thank you. 4th and 5th grade, have a seat. We will now dismiss. That concludes our program, so thank you, everybody. 6th grade, we will start dismissal with you.